everyone, this is YoshiGamerGirl and welcome back for more Spyro the Dragon. Last time we failed so miserably in High Caves. I mean, really? And this time we're gonna go to Wizard Peak. So, this is the 11th episode, and I also found out later that Beastmaker's world, which is the next world, is not the last world. There's one other one. And this looks like, oh, Jesus. No. You're not allowed to create a monster, because if you do, then you're gonna die. I'm calling my own death, I swear. I'm gonna say, and you're gonna die, and then I'm gonna die. Alright, so all these wizards are quite annoying. You want to get rid of all the enemies, because it's like, oh, you're just gonna spawn more? Yeah, well, you're an idiot, and I hate you. Excuse me, you don't hit me like that. I don't know the mechanics on how the hitbox ratio is, so let's go away, go away. Please don't zap me, please don't zap me, please don't. Thank you. Wow, I thought he was gonna zap me and then just turn around and try again, and guess he didn't, though. Alright. No! Of course. And now I'm down to 1 health. Alright, so I need to be very careful here. Probably not gonna be. Nope. Well, I got flattened. What did I tell you? I was gonna call my own death. Nope. Go away. No, I hate these things. These things like to murder you. No. And they have very fast reflexes, apparently. But that's always fun. Don't. What did I tell you not zapping? What did I tell you about not zapping me? Just don't do it. So let's see. What is today? It is the 31st. Wow. It's almost June already. Who else hates... It's almost out of dragon. Sorry. Who else hates, Who else hates summer only because of the heat? Thank you, I got a life. Only because of the heat. This is one of the main reasons I moved away from Houston. The heat is so terrible there, you just don't want to deal with it, like, ever. Ugh. You just don't. And I hate hot, oh my God. I hate hot weather. Houston, quite frankly, is too big of a city for me to live in. I didn't really like it to be really big. Go away, go away. And moving to a smaller city like Boston I liked it better, in my opinion. But you don't want to be down in Houston during the summer because it's so hot. Well, I guess you could say the same thing for like other southern states, Alabama, Arizona, you know, New Mexico and all that.
Welcome to Wizard Peaks. This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
Okay. So, what was I saying about Texas and stuff? Yeah, southern states are really hot during the summer. The only reason people like migrate south during the winter is because it's warmer down there. Yeah, and another thing is that Houston doesn't have too much of a changing of seasons. Like, they don't really have a fall. They have... I can't believe I missed that. At least I saved. They don't really have an autumn weather at all, because, what is it? Because pretty much spring or summer, no, let me think. No, because summer usually just melds into, it gets a little cooler at one point, and then the leaves fall off all at the same time during winter. So you can't really determine that there's like, or is it spring? No, there's no real spring. That's it. There is there's a autumn weather down in Houston. It's the spring. There's no existence of spring there. You know how it's like just gradually gets warmer? Well, no. One day you wake up and it's, say, I don't know, what is it, 50 or so degrees. And that's quote-unquote cold for them. And then the next morning you wake up and it's like 80, and it's like, oh, that was quick. Yeah, the weather doesn't give you a break and gradually warm up or anything. It just goes from one temperature to another. But hey, for some reason, I guess that happened in Boston this year. I've noticed that it was a weird weather pattern, and it was, first of all, it was like cold, really, really cold, like 20s, 30s, and then suddenly the next day it was like, oh, it's gonna get up to 70. And I guess that's some spring weather, and now all of a sudden within the matter of a couple of months, or 1 month, it changed to, it's now 80, 90 some days, and it is definitely summer, but we had a very short spring this year that I've noticed. Come on, oh good, I hit it. But it's not my fault. Blame the weather. Mother Nature can be a bitch, man. Alright, Hexus.
Thank you for releasing me.
Yeah, you're welcome. That looked like the other dragon. Now they're starting to reuse what the dragons look like? Come on! Get your head in the game. Yeah, that makes sense. What happened to me this past weekend? Something exciting happened, actually. Not to me, but for my friend. He went to the Pokemon trading card game regionals, so everyone in the region who plays trading card game was there. He's a different age group than we are, so he doesn't like play in the same age group. Like juniors is like, I want to say about 10, 11 years old and under. And then there are seniors who are like 12 to 15 years old. And then there are masters who are like 16 and up. Oh my god, I'm gonna die, aren't I? Crap. So yeah, I'm like a master. I'm 16 and up because that's what it is. Ugh. And they have age divisions to make it, I guess, more fair. So so he went there. Ben helped him build a deck. I'm pretty sure I told some of you this story, but I haven't told everyone. There was a deck that was pretty decent. Like, if you played it, maybe I should tell you about decks first. First of all, there's only like there's like a favorable deck that like everyone likes to play, and it always wins or something, because there's like not a good counter to it, or it just helps against everything else, all of the other opponents, or like another opponent, say like fairies are not viable in format, so no one uses fairies and ever wins with them. Oh my god. Can I not? No, please don't. Okay. So no one ever wins with fairies because, one, there's not enough fairy cards, and two, they either don't attack as well as some, or... Thank you. Please don't fall. Good. They don't attack as well as some other Pokemon or stuff like that. Anyway, my point was, there is this deck that they use, please don't, called, let's see, the most favorable one in the format right now that everyone's using is called Yveltal, or some people call it Yveltal Maxis, because you use Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, which is, you have to get that Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, you either use VS Seeker to get it out of the discard pile, or you... Why am I just going on? Okay, so, format. A lot of people like Dark-type Pokemon. Dark-type are either weak to, depending on if it's Yveltal. Yveltal is weak to electricity because it's a flying type, but it's also dark. So, it's weak to electricity. A lot of people like using Dark-type Pokemon, and especially Yveltal. And no one really... Oh, Lucas, hi.
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the artisan home. It is at the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan home, waterfall. Sounds good.
Alright, thanks for the hint. Anyway, well, I was going to go out. Anyway, I'm sorry, my tangent is just terrible. It's trying to tell a story. Anyway, a lot of people like playing dark types, especially Yveltal or Zoroark. Zoroark is weak to fighting. A lot of dark types are weak to fighting types. But fighting is not really viable in format because it can be beaten by Psychic. Psychic, there's a really strong deck right now called Trevenant, and it like damages the entire, I want to say your entire bench. It's called Trevenant Break. It does Silent Fear for a set number, and it's just awful because there's only then so many decks you can play and actually either hope to get far or do well with. And so Ben and my friend decided, oh, well, maybe we should just try and, well, actually, no. My friend was the one with the idea, oh, you know, there's this deck I've been trying out, and it's actually decent because I've used it against all the meta matchups, and it's actually done really well. And what Pokemon was it? Jolteon EX. Jolteon EX has this second move called Flash Ray that makes it so basics don't hurt it. Like, you can attack it, but you can't do damage to it because if you're a basic Pokemon, like, there's a bunch of EXs right now out there. All EXs except for Megas are basic Pokemon. They can be, you know, Dragonite, Florges, or whatever else. And so there are a bunch of basics, and a bunch of people are using EXs or just basic Pokemon like Joltik and Pumpkaboo for Night March, which is another Uber deck in format currently. And then they suddenly can't do anything because Jolteon is the main attacker, which is funny because you wouldn't, people were trying out Jolteon for a while. I'm gonna die. We're trying out Jolteon for a while, and they were just pairing it with Mega Manectric and say, okay, so it's a secondary attacker. Oh, I'll eventually just, you know, not use it as the main one. The thing is, that's the wrong way to do it. My friend and Ben figured out that you have to use Jolteon as the main attacker, so you can just lock them down. Combining with a support Pokemon, I'm sorry, I'm just running around, but I'm literally trying to know how to get over there. So they were thinking, let's pair it with something, support Pokemon, which will be Vileplume. Vileplume has an ability that locks people, that keeps both players, not just one side, but both sides, from using items. So what you do is pretty much what happens during your first turn. If you go first or second, either or, you get your board ready, you get Jolteon somewhat powered up by using these things called Max Elixirs. Max Elixirs help with power. Wow, I almost made it. Max Elixirs help powering up your Pokemon on the bench, or yeah, your Pokemon on the bench. Okay, good, I made it. They help power up Pokemon on the bench, and then you get set up with Force of the Giant Plants. Force of the Giant Plants lets grass Pokemon evolve right away, as opposed to, oh no, you have to wait for your Pokemon to evolve, which that usually is the rule, but the grass types have a stadium that let them do it otherwise. I'm sure there's nothing back here. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Alright. Anyway, and then once you set up your board, use all your items up, and are done with it, then you evolve Vileplume on the vital turn that it makes sense to, either, again, whether you go first or second, and then you pretty much just lock the people, your opponent, from one, using their items to set up their Pokemon, or evolving, or anything like that. And then, since a lot of the meta is basic Pokemon usually, then you keep them from using basic Pokemon, which is, again, a lot of the meta are using basic types, basic Pokemon to attack, because EXs are pretty big in format. And so what can they do? Well, there are some decks that do require evolution, but there are not many. Figure out how to get up there. So you're gonna say, like, okay, how do I beat this? Well, there are some new cards that are starting to be printed out that have the possibility to beat this, but they're not no, they just came to rotation, and people won't think of them for a while. Like, usually developing strategies takes a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of testing and a lot of other things, because no one thinks of it right away. However, anyway, he went with the Jolteon deck to regionals, my friend, in senior division, and he won. He won the whole thing. There were like 70 to 90 people in his age division there, and he also faced like the #1 person in his age division in the United States and Canada, and he beat her. They were both in the top 8 because they had 2 days. Okay, they had 2 days, right, worth of matches, because regionals can't just last 1 day. There'll definitely always be a lot of people there. Okay, so then I was just amazed. Ben was proud of him, and if Ben didn't just have dental surgery, get an implant, and what else? And we have pet sitting obligations, we would have gone to it, and Ben probably would have played that deck as well, but in our age division, because our age division also didn't also big on dark and all those things. So yeah, that was exciting. I can't even find things. Wow, I'm sorry, I just running around telling the story, but hold on a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I was really stupid. Apparently you can go on platforms over this way. Can I have that? Thank you. And there's more gems. Ay. Took me a little while to figure that out, actually. I mean, like, right now it took me a while. It didn't take me... I just forgot. I haven't played... When I get into the later levels, I start not remembering as much, because I haven't played the later levels as much as I have the earlier levels. So I tend to get lost a little easier. Let's see. Okay. So, also a little more added to the story. Again, sorry that it takes so long. I was trying to tell the story and look for the gems, but obviously I was failing. The seniors division champion, our friend, told another person who is in our division, and he's the #1 player in our division. So he made sure to mention, like, oh, by the way, the person who helped me build this deck was Ben. And once he heard that, first of all, we talked to him a couple times, like during the like state champions and city championships. Mostly Ben did, because he sat at the same table when they were being sorted with alphabetical order by first name. And so, and then he saw a deck that I ran a deck that actually I got to face him. Oh God. That I got to face him with. That was Entei Charizard. And it was a very unique build. Not a lot of people had seen it built that way, if that makes any sense. So then I ran it, and he was kind of impressed on, oh, I didn't know anyone would think of putting this in. Wow, I know the guy. This in the deck because it might not necessarily need it. And then what happened was, okay, we during a league challenge, like a league challenge is just something to boost your score slightly. Like if you win, you usually get a booster box, and there's usually a lot of attendance, and it's pretty nice. So no one really took Ben that seriously because he was a first year, and that's actually almost to be expected because, I mean, would you take anyone who just started playing competitively seriously? Probably not, unless they have good ideas. The thing is that Ben helped with this. This is his first year and my first year playing the standard/expanded format. We both, I can play well. Ben trained me how to play well mostly because I can look ahead of what our opponents might do with the deck that they have. It's called studying the meta and how decks work and how you play each deck and stuff like that. It does take a long time to master, but Ben got it a little more before I did. Plus you have to start learning how to play fast, I guess. That's how you say it. Excuse me. Play faster and think of strategies faster. And I'm not a fast thinker usually. Ben said that he had our friend tell the people on purpose because, one, Ben's a first year and he wouldn't, it would start taking them seriously and stuff, you know. Take a person seriously. They have good ideas. Like, oh, wait, you helped build this deck? And you're just starting? That's very impressive. Holy cow. So yeah, by the way, after the guy heard about that, how Ben helped build the winning regionals deck in senior division, he immediately, like, Ben had already sent him a friend request on Facebook to like see if they could collab or something. He immediately added him after that. It was kind of funny, actually. I'm done with this world, by the way. Immediately after that, let's see. We've also been to league challenges. Ben has put some insight in, you know, what he thinks about other decks and how other decks work. What you think you should play in certain things, and you know, all that jazz. But oh my god, do I really have 0 lives? Wow, I do. Okay, I'm gonna have to get more lives or something, or I can just get a game over, you know, one of the two. Next time, sorry about how long this episode was, because we just babble about the story. So, next time we're going to Crystal Flight before we take on the boss. Until then, I'm YoshiGamerGirl, and we'll see you guys later. Yoshi, huggles.